Crushing cars, flying dirt, and mind-blowing stunts are what monster trucks do best. From a truck that's launched an incredible 33 feet into the air to one built like a snarling bull ready to charge, and even a monstrous 12-wheeled beast, these trucks aren't just massive, they're iconic. Here are the 19 most incredible monster trucks in the world. Number 19. Bounty Hunter. From the shadows of monster truck evolution emerged a predator so dominant, its legacy would span not years, but decades. Meet Bounty Hunter, the flagship vehicle of 2 Extreme Racing, whose intimidating black and green paint job and massive tires standing over 5.5 feet tall make it look ready to take on an army. And that's exactly what it has done. Over the years, Bounty Hunter has proven time and time again that it's not just a pretty face. This monster truck has claimed 2 world championships, one in freestyle, a heart-stopping ballet of raw power where these beasts defy gravity, and one in racing, where these mechanical gladiators battle wheel to wheel in a thundering sprint to glory, a full 15 years apart. That's right. Bounty Hunter's dominance spans decades, unleashing the raw talent of its drivers and the brutal power of its engine. Under the hood, Bounty Hunter boasts a massive 565 cubic inch V8 engine that churns out an astonishing 1,500 horsepower. That's the equivalent of about 50 average cars, all packed into one monstrous machine. And with its custom-built chassis and state-of-the-art suspension, Bounty Hunter can take on any obstacle in its path, from towering dirt mounds to rows of crushed cars. While others battled for supremacy in sun-baked arenas, a different kind of champion was forging its legacy in the land of ice and snow. Number 18. Northern Nightmare. Carrying the pride of an entire nation on its massive tires, Northern Nightmare emerged as a monster truck that embodied the rugged spirit of Canada. With its striking blue and white paint job and tires standing over 5.5 feet tall, this machine looked ready to conquer anything the harsh Canadian wilderness could throw at it. This monster truck is a fixture on the Canadian Monster Jam circuit, where it goes head-to-head with some of the toughest competition in the world. But Northern Nightmare isn't just a regional hero, it's also a force to be reckoned with on the international stage. In 2012, Northern Nightmare made monster truck history by claiming the freestyle championship at the Monster Jam World Finals. Driven by the talented Cam McQueen, this machine put on a show for the ages, soaring through the air and crushing everything in its path. It was a moment that will live on in monster truck lore for years to come. But Northern Nightmare's success isn't just about one driver or one moment. It's about the dedication and hard work of the entire team behind this incredible machine, something they proved in dramatic fashion at the 2014 Monster Jam World Finals. That night, McQueen and Northern Nightmare attempted what no one had ever dared, the world's first reverse backflip. The attempt ended with the truck on its roof, and as McQueen fought to recover, the fuel pump gave out, turning Northern Nightmare into a blazing inferno. But the team's spirit couldn't be extinguished. Within months, they had Northern Nightmare back on a new chassis and ready to roar through the rest of that year's tour. From the mechanics who keep it running smoothly to the designers who craft its distinctive look, everyone plays a role in making Northern Nightmare the beast that it is. After conquering the Great White North, monster truck evolution took an unexpected plunge straight into the prehistoric oceans. Number 17. Megalodon. Trading snow for sea and maple leaves for razor-sharp teeth, Megalodon emerged as the most fearsome predator to ever prowl the monster truck arena. With its massive 60-inch tall tires and custom-built 3D body that resembles the prehistoric shark in every terrifying detail, this monster truck is a sight to behold. But Megalodon isn't just a pretty face. Under the hood, this machine boasts a 540 cubic inch V8 engine that churns out a staggering 1,500 horsepower. That's enough power to propel Megalodon to speeds of over 70 miles per hour, all while crushing everything in its path. And that's exactly what it has done. Megalodon has proven time and time again that it's one of the most dominant forces in the world of monster trucks. This machine has claimed 2 Triple Threat Series championships, showcasing its raw power and its driver's unmatched skill. In 2019, Megalodon literally soared into the history books when it launched over 8 Monster Jam trucks in a single jump, shattering the previous record by 1 truck. But what really sets Megalodon apart is its unique look. Originally announced under the rather literal name Shark, the team decided to embrace something more menacing, and Megalodon was born. The custom-built 3D body is a work of art, featuring rows of razor-sharp teeth and a menacing grin that would strike fear into the heart of any rival monster truck. And when Megalodon takes to the track, it's like watching a scene from a horror movie come to life. A massive, unstoppable beast that devours everything in its path. And if Megalodon represented nature's perfect killer, this next beast would showcase humanity's own appetite for power. Number 16. Earthshaker. Enter Earthshaker, a machine that literally shook the monster truck world to its core when it debuted in 2017. Built from the chassis of an old dump truck, this true original embodied human ingenuity and raw industrial might. But Earthshaker is more than just a novelty act. This monster truck is a force to be reckoned with on the track. With a massive 1,500 horsepower engine and tires that stand over 5.5 feet tall, when Earthshaker roars to life, the ground trembles beneath its immense weight and the crowd goes wild. And that crowd has had plenty to cheer about over the years. Since its debut, Earthshaker has dominated both the Arena Series, the intense indoor showdowns where precision matters most in tight spaces, and the Triple Threat Series, considered the ultimate test combining racing, freestyle, and the fan-favorite skills challenge. With 3 Arena Series championships showcasing its technical mastery in confined spaces, and 2 of the coveted Triple Threat titles that prove its all-around supremacy, Earthshaker has cemented its place as one of the most dominant monster trucks in the world. But what really sets Earthshaker apart is its unique look. The dump truck body gives this machine a rugged, industrial feel that's unlike anything else on the track. And when Earthshaker gets up to speed, the massive tires create a mind-bending illusion. It's like watching a building on wheels hurtle through the air. But, unlike Earthshaker that channeled the raw power of heavy machinery, another would harness the untamed spirit of the Spanish fighting bull. Number 15. El Toro Loco. Roaring onto the scene came El Toro Loco, the crazy bull. With a bright orange and yellow fire-like paint job, massive horns, and a menacing snout that snorts smoke, this beast looks like it could charge out of the arena at any moment and take on the world. But El Toro Loco isn't just a flashy gimmick. This machine is a serious competitor, with a track record that speaks for itself. In 2003, El Toro Loco made its debut at the Monster Jam World Finals, and it wasted no time in making its presence felt. Driver Lupe Souza piloted El Toro Loco to a second-place finish in the freestyle competition, a remarkable achievement for a rookie truck. Since then, El Toro Loco has only gotten better. Over the years, this monster truck has become a fan favorite, particularly among younger fans who can't resist its cartoonish charm. But make no mistake, El Toro Loco is a beast on the track, with a 1,500 horsepower engine and massive tires that allow it to climb over obstacles with ease. One of the things that sets El Toro Loco apart from other monster trucks is its unique body design. The truck's fiberglass body is custom molded to look like a snorting bull, complete with a tail that whips back and forth as the truck moves. And when El Toro Loco revs its engine, smoke billows out of its nose, creating an unforgettable spectacle that never fails to get the crowd on its feet. Spanish passion is one thing, but American attitude is a whole nother ballgame in the world of monster trucks. Number 14. Gas Monkey Garage. Gas Monkey Garage rolled in as no ordinary machine, born from the mind of Richard Rawlings, the mastermind behind Fast and Loud, the automotive phenomenon that captivated over 4 million viewers per episode at its peak and ran for 16 successful seasons, turning a Dallas garage into a global brand. This behemoth embodied every ounce of the show's rebellious spirit and no-holds-barred attitude. Rawlings, a self-proclaimed petrosexual with a passion for all things fast and loud, knew that he wanted to make a statement when he decided to enter the monster truck arena. And what better way to do that than by building a machine that embodied the Gas Monkey Garage brand in every way possible. Meet B.J. Johnson, a seasoned veteran of the monster truck world who's mastered the delicate balance of raw aggression and precision control that elite drivers need. With lightning-quick reflexes, split-second decision-making, and the mechanical sympathy to push a 10,000-pound machine to its limits without breaking it, Johnson had already proven his worth behind the wheel of 12 different trucks and made 2 World Championship appearances before Rawlings came calling. It was a match made in monster truck heaven. Together they set out to build a truck that would not only turn heads, but also dominate the competition. The result was a 10,000-pound behemoth with a custom-built chassis, a fire-breathing 1,500 horsepower engine, and a sleek black and green paint job that screamed Gas Monkey Garage. But this was no mere show truck. It was built to win. In 2018, Johnson and the Gas Monkey Garage truck took the monster truck world by storm, claiming several championships and cementing their place as one of the most formidable competitors on the circuit. Fans couldn't get enough of the truck's bold, in-your-face attitude and Johnson's no-nonsense driving style. While one truck celebrated custom car culture, another was about to prove that Detroit's DNA runs deep in monster truck veins. Number 13. Raminator. Raminator emerged as the ultimate expression of Detroit's might, a beast of raw power built atop the chassis of a Dodge Ram pickup truck that has been crushing cars and thrilling fans since its debut in the early 2000s. But what sets Raminator apart from the pack? For starters, there's the sheer size of the thing. With its massive 66-inch tall tires and its towering stance, Raminator looks like it could crush a small building without breaking a sweat. And under the hood, this truck is packing some serious muscle. Raminator's engine is a marvel of modern engineering, a supercharged Hemi V8 that churns out a staggering 2,000 horsepower. That's enough power to propel this 10,000-pound behemoth to speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, all while doing backflips and crushing everything in its path. But Raminator is more than just a one-trick pony. This truck is part of a team that has dominated the Monster Jam circuit for years, racking up an impressive 7 series championships along the way. And it's not hard to see why. With its combination of raw power, agility, and showmanship, Raminator is a force to be reckoned with. While a mighty ram carved its path through sheer force, another warrior would show that sometimes the most inspiring stories aren't written in victory lanes. Number 12. Lucas Oil Crusader. Trading pure power for pure passion, the Lucas Oil Crusader proved that in the world of monster trucks, the journey matters more than the destination. Its story became one of constant evolution, innovation, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. From the moment it burst onto the scene in 2011, the Lucas Oil Crusader has been a truck to watch. With its sleek black and red paint job, its powerful engine, and its aggressive stance, this truck looked like it was ready to take on the world. And for a while, it seemed like that might just happen. Backed by the power of Lucas Oil, one of the most respected names in the automotive industry, the Crusader quickly made a name for itself on the Monster Jam circuit. It was fast, it was agile, and it had a personality all its own. Fans couldn't get enough of watching this truck tear up the track and fly through the air. But as the years went on, the Lucas Oil Crusader began to face some challenges. Despite being a constant competitor and always putting on a great show, the truck struggled to notch any major victories. It was fast, but it wasn't quite fast enough. It was tough, but it wasn't quite tough enough. And yet through it all, the Lucas Oil Crusader never gave up. The team behind the truck, led by veteran driver Lindsey Wink, kept pushing forward, constantly tweaking and refining their machine in the hopes of finding that elusive edge. And even though the truck may not have always come out on top, it always put on a great show. And while it was fighting for respect, this next truck was about to demand its respect. Number 11. Maximum Destruction. In a world of mighty machines, none embodied raw power and unbridled aggression quite like Maximum Destruction. From the moment this behemoth first rolled onto the scene, tribute to legendary wrestler Bill Goldberg, it was clear this was a truck that meant business. With its menacing black and gold paint job, its snarling visage, and its massive 66-inch tall tires, this truck looked like it could take on an army and come out on top. But it wasn't just about looks. Under the hood, Maximum Destruction was packing some serious muscle. Its engine, a supercharged Ford 572 V8, churned out a jaw-dropping 1,500 horsepower. That's the equivalent of almost a dozen average cars, all crammed into one monstrous machine. And behind the wheel of this beast was a man who knew how to tame it, Tom Meents. A legend in the world of monster trucks, Meents had already made a name for himself as one of the most skilled and daring drivers on the circuit. And with Maximum Destruction, he found the perfect vehicle to showcase his talents. Together, Meents and Maximum Destruction would go on to dominate the Monster Jam circuit for years, racking up numerous championships and setting records that still stand today. In 2013, marking a decade of dominance, the truck evolved into something even more fearsome. Reborn as Max D, it emerged with an apocalyptic new look, its body bristling with metallic spikes and adorned with a massive robotic face on its sides as if the future of monster trucks had arrived early. Fans couldn't get enough of watching this truck fly through the air, crush cars, and perform gravity-defying stunts that left them breathless. While Max D announced its presence with a menacing name, this next one proved that true power comes in unexpected ways. Number 10. Overkill Evolution. Overkill Evolution emerged as living proof that unassuming machines can pack the biggest punch. Without the most intimidating name or flashiest paint job, this truck let its incredible track performance do all the talking. Debuting in 2014, Overkill Evolution quickly made a name for itself as a force to be reckoned with. Powered by a massive 540 cubic inch big block engine, this truck had the muscle to go toe-to-toe with any competitor on the circuit. And with its advanced suspension system and custom-built chassis, it had the agility to match. But what really set Overkill Evolution apart was its driver, a young gun named Mikey Vaders Jr. The son of legendary monster truck builder and driver Mike Vaders, Mikey had grown up around the sport and knew exactly what it took to win. In 2014, he proved it by taking Overkill Evolution to victory in the prestigious Young Guns Shootout, a competition designed to showcase the best up-and-coming drivers in the sport. The following year, Vaders and Overkill Evolution would go on to even greater heights, claiming the World Freestyle Championship in a stunning display of skill and showmanship. Fans couldn't get enough of watching this truck soar through the air, performing jaw-dropping stunts and leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. But Overkill Evolution's success was not without its challenges. In 2018, the truck was involved in a terrifying incident during a freestyle competition, veering off course and nearly crashing into a crowd of spectators. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but the incident served as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in the sport. While it was unassuming, this next one takes the energy of a huge, well-known brand to the next level. Number 9. Monster Energy. Just as their drinks promised an adrenaline rush in every can, Monster Energy's beast would deliver pure voltage to every arena it entered. Their truck didn't just compete, it embodied the same heart-pounding intensity that made their energy drinks legendary. Debuting in 2012, the Monster Energy truck was pure caffeine-fueled mayhem on wheels. With its menacing black and green paint job matching their iconic cans, massive 66-inch tall tires ready to crush like a sugar rush, and that snarling Monster Energy logo promising chaos, this machine looked ready to keep the crowd's pulse racing, and that's exactly what it did. From the moment it first hit the track, the Monster Energy truck brought the same intensity their drinks were famous for. Its driver, Damon Bradshaw, was a veteran of the sport who matched the brand's high-octane philosophy, pushing his machine to the same extreme limits their fans craved. And with the backing of one of the most adrenaline-obsessed brands in the world, he had the resources and support to keep the energy flowing. Over the course of its career, the Monster Energy truck would unleash that signature rush at every Monster Jam World Finals until its retirement, racking up multiple championships along the way. Fans couldn't get enough of watching this liquid lightning in truck form fly through the air, crush cars, and perform stunts that gave them the same buzz they got from cracking open a can of Monster. But while Monster Energy masters today's spectacles, every can of adrenaline owes its existence to one mechanical revolution that started it all. Number 8. Bigfoot. Before monster trucks became household names, before stadiums echoed with the roar of engines and crushing metal, there was one machine that started it all. In 1981, a groundbreaking event took place that would forever change the world of motorsports. Bob Chandler, the visionary behind the legendary monster truck Bigfoot, dared to attempt the unthinkable, crushing a car with his colossal creation. As the metal crumpled beneath Bigfoot's immense weight, the crowd roared with excitement, and a new era of entertainment was born. Chandler's passion for pushing the limits of what a truck could do began years earlier when he would take his Ford F-250 off-road in the Missouri countryside. Frustrated with the lack of parts available for his beloved truck, he took matters into his own hands and founded Midwest Four-Wheel Drive, a shop dedicated to creating the toughest, most powerful trucks imaginable. As Chandler tinkered with his creations, he soon realized that he had something special on his hands. Bigfoot, with its towering 66-inch tall tires and beastly 460 cubic inch V8 engine, was more than just a truck, it was a force of nature. And when Chandler decided to put on a show for his friends by driving over a few junk cars, he unwittingly sparked a revolution. Word of Bigfoot's incredible feats spread like wildfire, and soon, people from all over the country were clamoring to see the massive truck in action. Chandler obliged, taking Bigfoot on tour and thrilling audiences with its car-crushing prowess. Along the way, he inspired a new generation of monster truck enthusiasts and paved the way for the sport to become the global phenomenon it is today. Bigfoot might have been the pioneer, but in the high-octane world of monster trucks, there's always room for new legends. Number 7. Avenger. When the dust of the 90s settled, a fierce challenger rolled onto the scene, ready to carve its own path to greatness. Enter Avenger. Created by the visionary Jim Kohler in 1997, this behemoth of a machine quickly proved that it was more than just a flashy paint job and a catchy name. With its 1,500 horsepower engine and massive 66-inch tall tires, the Avenger was built to dominate. In 2003, Kohler piloted his creation to victory at the Monster Jam World Finals, claiming the freestyle championship and cementing Avenger's place in monster truck history. But Avenger was just getting started. Over the next few years, Kohler and his team would continue to push the limits of what their truck could do, competing in the Monster Jam World Finals year after year, and consistently placing in the top ranks. In fact, from 1999 to 2003, Avenger was a fixture in the finals, proving that it had the staying power to compete with the best of the best. While Avenger carved its path to greatness through competition, another beast was about to forge a different kind of legend, one measured not in trophies, but in wheel count. Number 6. The American Outlaw Reloaded. In a world where monster trucks followed a familiar formula, one team dared to ask the unthinkable. What if we just keep adding wheels? Enter the American Outlaw Reloaded, a Cummins diesel-powered Maverick that didn't just bend the rulebook, it rewrote it entirely. From its humble beginnings as a four-wheeled terror in the local arenas of Elkhart County, Morley, and Hudsonville, this American-bred beast proved it wasn't just another car crusher, it was a symphony of speed and power that dominated local circuits. But domination wasn't enough for this mechanical rebel. They pushed the envelope by adding 8 more tires, creating a 12-wheeled monster that stretched an astonishing 27 feet 4 inches wide with its triple-stacked 66-inch wheels on each side. Then, in a move that left spectators speechless, they took their creation where no monster truck had dared to go before, straight into the lake. Thanks to its massive tires providing exceptional buoyancy and the raw power of its Cummins engine, the American Outlaw Reloaded didn't just survive, it thrived, creating waves as it churned across the water's surface. This amphibious achievement proved that this 12-wheeled rebel wasn't just a land-based legend. It was a true all-terrain innovator, crushing conventions on both solid ground and open water with every revolution of its dozen wheels. But while 12 wheels might impress modern crowds, 4 decades ago, just 4 wheels were enough to change monster truck history forever. Number 5. Gravedigger. Enter Gravedigger, a menacing beast of black and green that has been haunting arenas and crushing cars since 1982. But this wasn't just another monster truck. This was the story of Dennis Anderson, a mudbogger from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, who dared to dream bigger. When Anderson mounted a 1957 Chevy panel truck body onto a jacked-up 1974 Chevy pickup chassis, he wasn't just building a truck, he was creating a legend. With its towering stance, ear-splitting engine, and graveyard-themed paint job, Gravedigger quickly became more than just a fan favorite, and Anderson, with his wild driving style and larger-than-life personality, became the face of the monster truck world. Over the years, Gravedigger has undergone countless transformations and upgrades, but one thing has remained constant: its ability to make history. While Dennis Anderson's reign left an unmatched trail of championships and broken records, today his children push those boundaries even higher, quite literally. His daughter, Kristen Anderson, the first and only female driver of Gravedigger, shattered the Guinness World Record for highest jump in a monster truck, soaring an incredible 33.8 feet into the air and crushing the previous record by 12.5 feet, proving that in the Anderson family, breaking records is just business as usual. Number 4. Son-uva Digger. Some inherit money, others inherit empires. But in the Anderson family, they inherit the earth-shaking responsibility of a monster truck legacy. As Gravedigger's shadow loomed large over the sport, a son was about to prove that championship oil runs thicker than water. When Ryan Anderson stepped into his father's arena, he had 2 choices: live in the shadow or cast his own. He chose both, and Son-uva Digger was born. Not just a tribute to Dennis Anderson's legendary legacy, but a young gun's declaration that greatness runs in the family. From the moment Son-uva Digger burst onto the scene at the 2011 Monster Jam World Finals, it was clear this was no mere heir to the throne. This machine carried both the weight of legacy and the fire of a new generation. With its sleek blue and black paint job, massive 66-inch tall tires, and ear-splitting 1,500 horsepower engine, Son-uva Digger quickly proved that monster truck dominance was encoded in Anderson's DNA. Ryan's skill and showmanship showed that the apple didn't just fall from the tree, it crushed everything in its path. After cutting his teeth behind behind the wheel of Monster Mutt, Ryan brought a driving style that echoed his father Dennis's wild energy while carving out his own identity. The fans who had watched Dennis Anderson revolutionize the sport with Gravedigger were now witnessing his son write the next chapter of the Anderson legacy. If Son-uva Digger proved legends can be born into the sport, Zombie was about to show they could also be summoned by the collective will of thousands. Number 3. Zombie. In 2013, Monster Jam handed the creative reins to their fans, unleashing a creature straight from their wildest nightmares. The result? Zombie, a beast that crawled from the depths of collective imagination to terrorize the arena. With its ghoulish white paint job, gnarled teeth, and glowing eyes, this fan-created monster looked ready to feast on the competition. But beneath its horror movie exterior lurked something even more frightening, a serious competitor. Under the hood, Zombie is packing some serious muscle. Its supercharged Mercer 540 engine cranks out a staggering 1,500 horsepower, allowing it to reach speeds of up to 70 miles per hour. And with its custom-built chassis and advanced suspension system, Zombie can tackle any obstacle in its path. But what really sets Zombie apart is its driver, the veteran Sean Duhan. Duhan, a man whose fingerprints are all over monster truck history. Before bringing the undead to life, Duhan had already carved his legacy piloting legendary machines like Sudden Impact and Overkill Evolution. His trademark style combines calculated aggression with an almost supernatural ability to save seemingly impossible runs, a skill that's made him as much of a legend as the trucks he's mastered over his decade-plus career. When Duhan straps into Zombie's cockpit, fans know they're not just watching another driver, they're witnessing a master craftsman at work. After Sean and Zombie brought nightmares to life in the arena, another machine would channel the grit of Clint Eastwood himself. Number 2. Sudden Impact. Trading zombie apocalypse for Hollywood tough, Sudden Impact roared into the monster truck scene with all the no-nonsense intensity of its silver screen namesake. Every inch of this machine embodied the same raw power and uncompromising attitude that made Eastwood's film legendary. But Sudden Impact was more than just a clever name and a cool paint job. It was a truck that was pushing the boundaries of what was possible in the world of monster trucks. In fact, Sudden Impact was the first ever monster truck to use a Kevlar driveline blanket, a safety feature that would soon become standard across the industry. The idea behind the Kevlar blanket was simple. It was designed to contain the parts of the driveline in case of breakage, preventing them from flying off and potentially injuring drivers or spectators. And while it may seem like a small thing, it was a major step forward for the safety of the sport. But safety wasn't the only thing that made Sudden Impact stand out. It was also a truck that was designed for performance. Under the hood, Sudden Impact was packing a massive 572 cubic inch Ford engine that cranked out an astonishing 1,400 horsepower. And with its custom-built chassis and advanced suspension system, this truck could tackle any obstacle in its path. If Sudden Impact showed us where monster trucks were heading, King Crunch reminds us where they came from. Number 1. King Crunch. Rolling back 2 decades to when legends were born in garages, not factories, we find a king who helped write the sport's first chapters. Since crushing its way onto the scene in 1982, King Crunch hasn't just survived, it's become a true icon of the sport, inspiring countless drivers and builders who would follow in its massive tracks. At first glance, King Crunch may not look like much. Its boxy utilitarian design is a far cry from the flashy, custom-built trucks that dominate the circuit today. But don't let its simple appearance fool you. This truck is a true powerhouse. Under the hood, King Crunch is packing a massive 572 cubic inch Chevy engine that cranks out an astonishing 1,500 horsepower. And with its custom-built chassis and heavy-duty suspension, this truck can tackle any obstacle in its path. But what really sets King Crunch apart is its legacy. This truck has been competing in monster truck events for nearly 4 decades, and in that time, it has racked up an impressive list of accomplishments. From winning major championships to setting world records, King Crunch has done it all, and much of that success can be attributed to one man, David Smith. Smith, who owned and operated King Crunch from 2001 until his retirement in 2018, is a true legend in the world of monster trucks. Under his guidance, King Crunch became a force to be reckoned with, thrilling fans with its jaw-dropping stunts and unmatched power. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.